Y'all, bombshell polling just dropped from on high like a thermonuclear weapon, dropped directly on the lefties' heads, inciting their worst nightmares possible, because it turns out that, knock knock, who's there? JD Vance. Yeah, guys, what we're going to walk through right now is Harry Enton from CNN dropping a very uncomfortable truth bomb on a whole lot of lefties, because Trump 2.0, there's more refinement, and it's a little bit younger. This is going to be a thing, and you're going to love every second of this, so make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on, scavenging this country for the freedom of which we were given upon our birth. Handing to the next generation is the mission of this channel. The more you subscribe, chat, comment, and engage, the more it spreads it out, and thank you for doing that. All right, listen, you can jump over X at Braden LOA, but that's not the main point. Let's jump right in here. This is, of course, the show right before our live stream tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you are there, because, apparently we're just bombing Venezuelans. But anyway, this is a big one, guys. We got to talk about this, because I told you that, kind of like the joke I put up there, not a good joke, kind of dad joke level, but knock knock, who's there? JD Vance. Yeah, JD Vance, he's setting a record. Legitimately a polling record. Like, it's never happened before, ever. Watch this. We're going to keep on going through this, and again, this is an amazing run-up into our live stream. Watch this.
Chances. I will just note, it is never too early to talk about political races, because these guys are running already, even if they haven't formally declared. They're already running, and J.D. Vance is running well ahead of the field. Take a look here. Top chances to be the 2028 GOP president nominee, the prediction market odds. Look at this. J.D. Vance, 48% chance. Nobody else is even close. Marco Rubio is way back at 12%. And no one else is even above a 5% chance of being the 2028 GOP nominee. J.D. Vance is like Mario Andretti, and Marco Rubio and the rest of the field are like going around in go-karts at this point. That's really what we're looking at. J.D. Vance is the clear, heavy favorite at this time.
And over time, depending on what happens, depending on how big this is, it could mean that some people don't actually go for it.
There you go.
Right? That's one of the keys here.
Okay, that was a really dumb statement. Yeah, he's winning so much that people aren't going to vote for him because he's winning so much. Okay, just bear with me. This is important, guys. This is really important. Because the continuity from the Donald Trump era, continuing the Donald Trump era through a J.D. Vance, like I said, the 2.0, he's younger, he's more refined, and he has a different way of communicating, and he has the ability of being from a swing state. This is something that they are very concerned about, because what was the nightmare scenario that they were going into in the Donald Trump 2.0? The nightmare scenario was Donald Trump gets elected again. Kamala Harris did an amazing job of accomplishing that one. And then J.D. Vance rides the entire momentum directly into 2028 and 2032. Y'all, the Electoral College is changing in 2030. If he wins this next election, you are going to have a red dynasty. Honest to God. That's why I cover these things so tightly, because this is literally the pivot point. We are in an incredible position, and J.D. Vance is sitting at 48%. Don't worry, there's even more. Harry Enton, I love his ability to just drop emotional bombs on these lefties. Watch this.
Is there any other polling that would back this up, this prediction market from Kalshi saying, hey, look at this number?
Yeah, this number is not coming out of nowhere. And I will note, of course, he's not at 50% plus yet. But when nobody else is even close, that makes you a clear heavy favorite. And there's a reason why. Just take a look at New Hampshire, right? The first in the nation primary. Take a look here. J.D. Vance at 51%. The next closest is Nikki Haley, who's at 9. What is that? That's 42 points ahead of the pack. Tulsi Gabbard is at 8. In the first in the nation primary, J.D. Vance, running 42 points ahead. There's a reason why he's such a heavy favorite in the prediction market so far, because if you win the GOP primary in New Hampshire, chances are you're going to be the Republican nominee for president.
How rare is this, or how often do you see someone so far ahead in this primary in New Jersey?
All right, it's a really good question, but you have to understand, this is in New Hampshire. Okay, this is the first primary system. So where this is coming from is his dominant performance in the New Hampshire primaries, basically where they get to do their own little version of who they want. Okay, J.D. Vance sitting at 51%, and no one else is even breaking 10%. Y'all, this isn't a competition anymore. This is literally who's going to be the VP. That's what you are looking at actively right now. I don't have to be Nostradamus. I can look at these numbers and go, it's not even. If it was like 30-25, I'm like, okay. But 51-9, and by the way, Nikki Haley, no thanks. Tulsi Gabbard, she's kind of grown on me, but not going to beat Vance. All right, let's continue. We've got a little bit more history for you. Because again, he's just carpet bombing their emotions.
New Hampshire.
Yeah, okay. So I saw this 51%, and all of a sudden, there was a buzz going around my head. I said, boy, this seems really weird. I can't recall anyone being this far ahead at this early stage in New Hampshire. I look back, hitting 50% plus in the early New Hampshire polls for a non-sitting president. J.D. Vance is the only one. The only one. You can go all the way back in the polling archives, all the way back to 1980, which is the earliest I could look at. J.D. Vance is the only one ever to getting a majority of the New Hampshire vote according to the early primary polls. At this point, J.D. Vance is pulling off something historic at this time, and that is the key reason why, at this point, he is the far and away favorite for the Republican nomination. He's just way out ahead of the pack.
All right, and the last little segment I'm going to show you in a second, it's just a little fun. There's a little bit of a stab I get to do on the Dems. But J.D. Vance is the only non-sitting president ever for the GOP since 1980, 45 years ago. I mean, holy crap. This, again, is a competition for the VP. That is what we are looking at right now. We are not looking at a candidate system. This is literally the choice, the front runner of the voters. This is not like some DNC magic where everyone's going to be winning and voting for Bernie Sanders, and then they pull the old Hillary Clinton, or they get a coronation for Kamala Harris, a Kamala Nation, and then she's all of a sudden the nominee with no votes. No, this is the actual voters doing this. You know, the party that is being accused of destroying democracy. Yeah. Hits 50% plus in early New Hampshire presidential primary polls. Y'all, we are at a pivot point right now. And J.D. Vance is, I would honest to God say he's going to be the guy. I'm just curious who the VP is going to be. You let me know in the comments. But I would be remiss if I went out of this video into our live stream without giving you a little bit of a stabby stab on the Democrats. Watch this.
What does history say? And I think most of us can guess this, but what does history say about vice presidents running for the presidency?
Yeah, I mean, just take a look. You just take a look at the last 5 sitting VPs who ran for the presidency. All were their party's nominees. Kamala Harris.
What's this theme
Al
here?
Gore, George H.W. Bush, Hubert Horatio Humphrey, therefore HHH, and Richard Nixon back in 1960. So, yeah, you put it all together, J.D. Vance, a heavy favorite. He's had a very good 2025. We'll see if he has a very good 2026.
This is the least surprising thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell y'all something real quick. You know what I noticed just off the cuff? The vice presidents who are under Democrat tickets, they all lose. The Republican vice president candidates who are on Republican tickets, they all win. Just wanted to throw that out there because, antagonism against the left is kind of one of the hallmarks of my enjoyment. But anyway, honest to God, guys, you are sitting in a position where we are looking at a J.D. Vance. I don't see any other way to shake it. This is literally nightmare fuel because it's going to be Trump 2.0, more refined, a little bit younger, and from a swing state. Oh my God. And the electoral college is shifting. Grab the tissues and the emotional, what are those animals? Support animals. Because goodness gracious. And I'll see you on the live stream tonight. I'm Braden. Later.